Five recently deciphered ancient writings. Number 5. Egyptian Book of Spells. In 2014, after decades to trying, researchers finally deciphered an Egyptian codex, and they were amazed to discover that it was a spellcaster's handbook. The beautifully illustrated pages contain spells for Egyptians who wanted love, success in business, a cure from black jaundice, or to perform an exorcism. Depending on one's mood, there are options to use a spell to either make peace with an enemy or to crush him. The 1,300-year-old parchment references Jesus as well as an unknown godlike figure called Bakthiotha. Some invocations are even linked to an extinct religious movement, the Sethians, who in this codex, refer to Seth as the living Christ. It might sound like the Egyptians were religiously confused during this period, but researchers believe that the document marks the transition of a society moving from other belief systems to Orthodox Christianity. Whoever owned and used the book remains a mystery. Nobody knows where it originally comes from, either. The G Handbook of Ritual Power H did leave a clue, though. The Coptic writing style points to Upper Egypt, perhaps even the ancient city of Hermopolis. Number 4. The Ein-Gedi Scroll. Ein-Gedi is a desert oasis located on the western shore of the Dead Sea. Its rich history includes nearly 5,000 years of often non-human occupation. Perhaps best known as the hideout of David when he fled from King Saul, Ein-Gedi was also the site of a Byzantine Jewish village. At some point, the entire village burned down, including its mosaic-floored synagogue. In 1970, archaeologists unearthed a badly scorched scroll at the site where Ein-Gedi's synagogue used to be. Fire damage made it impossible to open, let alone read. Almost 50 years later, modern technology did the unimaginable. It allowed the 1,500-year-old scroll to be read without unrolling it. Scientists scanned the parchment with specialized software that opened the scroll virtually. They were stunned when the process revealed legible writing, which nobody had truly expected. What they found were the opening verses of the Book of Leviticus. Now recognized as the oldest biblical text since the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Ein-Gedi scroll is also the first Torah scroll to be unearthed in a synagogue during archaeological excavations. Number 3. The Real Shakespeare. A 400-year-old book about botany could be holding an extraordinary treasure, a portrait of William Shakespeare. It's the only portrait known to have been created during the playwright's lifetime. Since it was done during his living days, researchers believe that it shows what he really looked like: handsome, aged 33, and soon to pen Hamlet. The now rare book, The Herbal, came to the attention of historian Mark Griffith when he was busy studying author John Gerard's life. Griffith became convinced that four faces depicted on the title page were merely decorative, but rather were long-lost portraits of actual people. Griffith deciphered surrounding imagery connected to heraldry and emblematic flowers before their real identities emerged, namely the author of the book, another prominent botanist, and Queen Elizabeth's Lord Treasurer. Finding Shakespeare among them knocked Griffith's socks off. What apparently identifies Shakespeare is the fact that he's holding a fritillary and an ear of sweet corn, both references to his works. Griffith also recognized an Elizabethan cipher beneath the bard, which gave credibility to the discovery. Number 2. The T514 glyph. The majority of Mayan glyphs have already been decoded, but a few still keep their secrets. One of these proved to be incredibly insightful once researchers determined its meaning. Called the T514 glyph, it sat in an undiscovered royal tomb in southern Mexico for over 1,700 years. The toothy picture resisted deciphering for over 60 years before being found to mean sharp edge. Researchers figured this out by studying actual skulls of jaguars and other glyphs. The discovery also finally revealed the name of the chamber where King Pickle was buried, the House of the Nine Sharp Spears. Number 1. The Eye Society. A secret brotherhood obsessed with eye treatment was uncovered when researchers found what could be their only surviving relic, the Copyright cipher, an 18th century book that is both beautiful and strange. Bound in gold and green brocade paper, the 105-page manuscript is entirely handwritten. The book is mostly composed of abstract, never-before-seen symbols, though there are also Greek and Roman letters. The only other readable text is Philip 1866, and Coppiles III, which gave the manuscript its name. An international team of cryptographers tried to decode it, but were hampered by the Greek and Roman letters and not knowing the author's native language. They had tried 80 languages before the letters were determined to be a ruse to deceive any would-be code crackers. They meant nothing. After discarding the useless letters, they tried German, since the book was found in Berlin and the name Philip is written in its German spelling. That cracked the code.